So before I actually start talking, let me just tell you how the devil hates me, okay? I recorded a whole entire episode and my microphone was off the whole entire time. But you know what? I'm going to let him have that one. Because one, he's trying to take my voice away. As you guys can hear, it's a little raspy in and out. I've been trying to drink as much water and stuff to lubricate it. I think I'm about to just make some tea. But I really want to tell you guys this story, and I want to talk about as to how funny and how cool it is that the card that I chose today said, be open to spiritual guidance. So first, let's start on the way I choose these topics is not by by dates, or I set them for certain times, or I set them for certain days. I literally open the box and I pick out a card, and that's the card for the day. And the card for today was be open to spiritual guidance. And it's perfect that today that was the card, because the way I decided to start this episode was bizarre. Let's rewind the days. I'm going to tell you what's been going on in my life for the past couple of days. My life has literally been like in transition. For the past weekend, I've been with Nike working for the marathon, the 10K marathon that they just had. So you know me, I am the Energizer Bunny. Anytime you tell Q, energize, hype people up, you know I'm down for the game. That's just my life. I've always been a cheerleader. Once a cheerleader, always a cheerleader. That is the motto for life. My cheerleaders know what I'm talking about. I always strain my vocal cords all the time. Even when I would go on a marathon and doing red carpet events for weeks straight, I always strain my vocal cords. It's just inevitable. If you know me, my friends who know me, who know my work ethic and know when I get into marathon mode, always strain my vocal cords. So that's why my voice is a little raspy. So Sunday I go to church and I attend the 11:45 service. I never attend the service. I always go to a 9:30 service. However, Nike needed me from 5 a.m. all the way to 10:30 a.m. So I told myself I will just go to the 11:45 service. That's the story. Get to the service. The intro pastor says right before the main pastor comes up, she goes, for everyone that is here today, you are not here by accident. You are here for a reason. There's a message directly meant for you. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is my first time here, first time in this service. Let's see what the message is. So the main pastor comes up. He does his prayer. Then he goes for those who take notes. The title of this service is Be Encouraged. Now let's rewind back to Saturday, right? I had a conversation with one of my friends who goes to the same church with me. We just met, and I'm pretty fond of this girl. And I was speaking to her on the phone, and she was talking about how she wants to encourage me because she also wants to encourage herself, and how we have to keep it being encouraged because no matter what, we have to encourage ourselves. That's literally what was said. So it was funny how yesterday, Saturday, and then Sunday, that's the topic that the pastor said. I'm like, cool, let's see what happens. So he pulls up a line that is like the main premise, one of the main Bible verses, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, right? It says that, I'm trying to remember this off memory now because I'm trying to teach myself to memorize Bible verses so I don't have them laid out in front of me. But this Bible verse says, God did not give us the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. This is what he gave us. And the reason why I love this Bible verse, especially when they said it, and it stuck out to me opposed to all the other verses that were said, because I live on 3 things that I believe God gave me. I believe he gave me love, I believe he gave me joy, and I believe he gave me peace. And those are the 3 things I literally live by, where I actually want to get it tatted on me. I don't know if that's against the Bible. If it is against the Bible, let me know. But I have tattoos already, but let me know. Because everyone has their way of living and their way. I'm interested in learning, and I would like to read the Bible verse as well. I'm interested. I like other people's opinion. That's just me because I like to learn. I'm not closed-minded. I'm interested to hear why other people think other ways, because we live in a world where we are all not living under the same roof. So back to my story. So he says that Bible verse, and I was just like, wow, okay, so now I'm listening. And he's like, no matter what you go through, you have to be encouraged. Just know that he's going to get you out. No matter how low you think you are right now, life's going to get better. And I'm just like, yeah, life is not good right now, but it's better than it has been. I can't complain. So I'm working. Life has been better. But I'm thankful. Nothing's bad right now, but I'm thankful. I'm just going to keep going. And, of course, we come to Monday. Monday, I'm on the rooftop working on my blog because Mondays are my day off. Sundays and Mondays are my day off. And I'm working on the rooftop, trying to work on my blog to get some outdoor air, some sun. It's 80-something degrees outside in California. Why not? I'm a New Yorker in California, and it's 80-something degrees outside. The goal is to be outside. So I'm working, and I get a phone call from a random number. I pick up, and it's my agency with my clients. And it's like, hey, Q, your client store just called and said they no longer need your assistance. I'm like, excuse me? They no longer need my assistance. Why wouldn't they no longer need my assistance? That is my only client. That's my main source of income. I have no other source of income. They are my source of income. What do you mean they do not need my assistance? I have been way great to them, but I just leave it at that. I'm confused. Why wouldn't you talk to me? But I left it at that. And I just took it. And I looked up and I was like, is this where you're telling me that I have to remember that you gave me power, love, and a sound mind, not the spirit of fear? Not the spirit of fear. So I have to remember that. So I told my mom, and she's concerned. I tell my friends, and they're concerned. I tell my church friend, and she's concerned. They're concerned for me. And I'm over here trying to have the power, the love, and a sound mind. So I'm just literally moving, just continue on working on my blog. And I wake up this morning, Tuesday, April 7th, I said? Oh, wow, no, let's not say 27, because then rent will be due. April 24th. I wake up this morning, and I pray, and I talk to God. I'm like, God, what is my next move? I need my next move, because I really do not want another job. But I said that person was going to be my last person, and the next job or next move I would be in my career. Tell me what to do. I need your help. Tell me what to do. And I literally just kept saying that. And I get on my computer, start to work on my daily checklist for my blog, things that I always have to get done every day. And I just started thinking, start your podcast. Start your podcast. Why don't you just start today? Why are you waiting for a co-host? Why can't you do it by yourself? Just start it. So I go to Google, and I was like, how to start your podcast. See a link. The first link I see says, how to start your podcast today. I open it up, and they literally say, just if you have a mic and a recorder, why not just start today and edit the audio later? I'm just like, girl, you can start this today. What's the problem? They're telling you literally start today. And blah, I'm here. Now, the only reason why I would have ever really put the two together and really pray and really have to listen to God to see him answer my prayers, to literally put this together, was my spiritual guidance. Now, for me to get to the spiritual guidance, I had to go to hell and high water to really understand what this guidance is. Like, when I was always a girl who believed in God. Jesus Christ, he's my God. I was like, I believed him. They said he was my father. I was like, that's my dad. I get it. Cool. Love him. Went to Catholic school for 10 years. Learned all the prayers. Learned the ups and downs. When to stand up. When to sit down. When to recite a chant. When to not. When to sing. When to not. Did the concerts. I was in it all. I was an altar server. I carried the candles. I did it all. So I believed in God. But as a child, you also are taught to move at the same time because you can't physically see this person. He is supposed to be a figure of your imagination, but you can't physically see him. So in your mind, when you are caught up in situations, you're like, if he can't help me physically right now, I can't tangibly see him helping me. I have no choice but to handle this on my own. And that's what you think. You are handling this on your own. So when you get your victory and you get your and you succeed in handling certain situations, we come back and we say, I did this. I did this. Me. I did this. We all did it. We all did it. So, like, coming to California, he had to remind me, honey, this was not always you. Because this is what people do not remember, people do not know about me. So one thing a lot of people do not realize is that because I've always been the toughest girl a lot of people have met, I get a lot more crap from other people. I get bashed on more. I get things said to me way more. Like, I've been told so many different things about the way I look, the way I feel, why people don't date me, why someone just wants to take me out, how I'm just a sex figure, how I'm just going to be a trophy wife, how I will never succeed, how I will not be the next Oprah, how I am just a girl with a nice body and a cute face. Because I walk into a room and I come and I stand really strong. They tell me. I literally have people, I ask all the time. I always ask, why are you talking to me that way? Why do you feel entitled to speak to me that way? Especially all of my exes. I always needed to figure this out because I've seen them in previous or after relationships. I always just need to understand, why is it that I always got that and not that? And they always tell me because I was able to handle it more than they would be able to handle it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the fact that people know and see how strong I am. And then I did, again, boast about it because I believe that was my stature. That was my strength. They called me Wonder Woman. They called me warrior because I was able to stand and step up to anybody without fear. I hardly had fear in my body. I didn't even know what fear really felt like. That is so crazy. I never really understood what fear really felt like. Like, I had fear. But then there was other fears where I'd feel and I'd suppress it and be like, what is that? That's not cool. Why am I feeling that? No, I'm not supposed to feel that. I would literally suppress it. Literally suppress it. So I never understood what fear meant to take over. Like, fear I just did not get that part. So when we continued, I moved to California, and I'm this tough warrior girl. And I come to California, and I'm just soaring high. Soaring high, yo. I have cars coming to pick me up. I have companies asking me to go cover these events. I'm at almost every red carpet event. I have people giving me their phone numbers, wanting to take me out, celebrities. I am soaring. Why? Because I am talking crap about people on my website. I am using my body and my beauty to get me places. I am soaring in a way that I did not want to. Then I start to feel like I am floating. When I tell you I'm floating, I am just in cloud nine, floating, no foundation, nothing. People were literally swinging me left and right. Wherever they needed me, I went. Wherever they wanted me, I went. Even if I had to run 2 seconds to somewhere and run to another event for 3 seconds, just so I can show my face and be able to say, I went. And then everybody in the industry started seeing this little girl coming up and at every event. Who is this girl? Why is she here? And you felt the hate. You felt the anger. You felt the tension from afar. People hated it, and I felt it, and I allowed it to affect me. Things like this I've always felt. I've always seen. Never would it have ever affected me. The only reason why I allowed it to affect me is because I didn't have my guidance to keep me strong anymore. Now I was floating. I had no foundation. I had nothing under my feet. Like, nothing was really keeping me stoned down anymore. So I literally felt everything that someone said to me or did to me. I felt it all. And then Mother's Day come. I end up meeting, let's rewind before Mother's Day. I go to a YouTube event, and I meet this lady. I meet this white lady. I have to say white for various reasons. So I meet her, we're on the line going into the YouTube event. We're just chatting it up. Now, if anyone who knows me knows Q, they know Q will speak to a stranger. I will talk to anybody. If you can hold a conversation, you and I will have a conversation. No matter what you are, homeless or not. If you can hold a conversation, I will speak to you. Because I'm interested in learning new people. I'm interested in learning about other people's experiences. I'm a journalist. I've always been a journalist and never knew it. Oh. So then after that, I end up speaking to her online. We're just talking, chatting away. And then I do not know how we ended up getting to this conversation because we ended up taking tours in YouTube together. We end up seeing everything. She tells me about her career, how she's part of the television academy, and how she does this and does that. Like, I adored her. And I still do. And she literally tells me about the church she goes to. I do not know how we got here. She's telling me about the church she goes to. And I tell her, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, I've been looking for a church as well. So she invites me to her church. Now, this is why I said a white lady. Now, I'm thinking in my head, like, lady, thanks for your invite, but the kind of church I'm looking for is like those black praise churches, the ones that get you on your feet and want to dance. Like, I want something like that. Plus, I don't really want to do like then I didn't know what a non-denominational church was. However, I wanted something of that aspect. I didn't want a Baptist or a Catholic or a religious kind of church. I wanted somebody who just went by the Bible. And she mentioned that. And I said something of that sort. And she mentioned that. And she said, oh, my God, yeah, you would love my church because it's also African-American church at the same time. And it has all the aspects you're looking for. I'm like, really? Jackpot. You had said African-American. We're going. That's so bad. But I was like, okay, cool. She invited me. That day, she invited me. The Sunday that I ended up landing on was Mother's Day. So we end up going to church on Mother's Day. Now, let me tell you guys the trials and the tribulation I was going through in California now, at that present moment. I was living in an apartment that cost me $2,200 a month. I had a car note that cost me $600 a month. I had a cell phone bill that was about $2 something a month. I had loans taking $3 something a month out of my account. And then I had other little expenses like my website and my emails and all of those stuff that was equivalent to about $2 something a month being taken out of my account. I don't even know what that total was. I have not done that math. I should do that math. But you know how much my income was? $0. I had no job. I had no income. I had no way of getting money. The money in my accounts have been diminished to less to nothing. I literally probably had $20 left to put gas in my car. Like, I had nothing left to my name. I had no choice but to go to church. And I'm calling my mom. My mom knows my struggles. I'm crying to her. I'm just like losing my life. She hears me just diminishing over the phone. And I know she felt it because I felt it. And I was just pouring out my cries because Q never cried. And she always said that. She was like, this is not you. You don't cry. You don't do this. What's wrong? You need to go to church. You need to understand God got this. Like, you need to go to church. Go, go, go. Like, go. And in my mind, I believed in him, but I'm just thinking, like, Mom, what are you talking about? Go to church. Like, I need money. Like, I need bills. Like, what do you mean go to church? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, I need physical money. And she's like, I can't give it to you. I don't have it. So how else are you going to get it? Now I had to think about that. How else am I going to get it? The only way you either going to get it is if you hustle, you get involved in wrong people, you do things you're not supposed to, or you steal it. You can't get a job. You've been looking for a job. What's another way to do it? So I was like, I'm going to church. I went to church. Now, because of church, this service happened on Mother's Day. I was emotional altogether. Everyone was showing up to church with their moms while I'm over here momless and familyless. And I'm struggling, and he's talking about struggles and tribulations and how women in this room are here to help each other, and moms are here to build next generation, to make you stronger, because they don't make, if your mom sees you not being the model that she made you, that's what they're here to bring you up. And I just instantly thought about my tattoo on my body. I have a tattoo on my body on my right side that says, strongest woman I know, my mother Mercy, and an infinity sign. Like, I was like, my mother is a warrior. She raised 2 girls by herself. I'm by myself, and I can't handle this. So I just started crying. I felt ashamed. I felt disgusted. I miss my mom. Was not happy with me at all. And I was just boo-hooing, just crying it all out. Then the bishop says, if anyone wants to surrender their life to God and really build a better foundation, come to the altar. I don't know, like nothing, my body held me back. I walked straight to the altar. Straight to the altar. I just walked straight to the altar. And then I stood at the altar. And then I just looked up and I just started wailing. I could not stop crying. I was just like, I do not know what am I doing. My mother made me stronger than this. Why am I feeling everything? Why is everyone hurting me? Why is everyone saying things to me? Why am I allowing them to pierce into me? Why am I allowing fear to take control of my life? I literally feel like everything is scaring me. Everything is scaring me. Someone says boo, I cry. Someone says hey, I cry. Everything is scaring me. I don't want to be here. I'm scared. I want to go back home. I want my mommy. I want to go home. That's all I kept thinking about. I felt like a wimp. I felt like I was not the person my mother thought I was, and I felt like I disappointed her. I sincerely felt like I disappointed her. And then, after that, they call all the people who goes up onto the altar. They walk us to the back to speak to one of these counselors to talk about why you walked up to the altar. Tell us what's going on. Talk to me. Tell me what you feeling. So you're like, okay, cool. You go to her, you're talking to her. This woman starts telling me how she used to do this. She was a sinner. She did that. She was a liar. She was this. She was that. And I got to tell her full business, but she was just doing X, Y, Z. And I'm looking at her shocked and crying at the same time, like shocked, but then put my head down to wipe my tears, but then a little shocked a little bit, like, whoa, honey, slow down. I'm not on that boat with you. Like, I've never done any of those things. Like, so she's trying to figure out what is it that I've done that's brought me to the altar. And I'm just trying to explain to her, like, I'm out here by myself. I've never done this before. This is new to me. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing everything. I'm financially struggling. I may be homeless next month. I do not know what's going to happen to me. I'm scared. And she did not want to hear that. All she wanted to hear was like, what have you done? What bad thing have you done? And that's what always scared me with a church. People always felt like they had the right to judge, and I never liked that with churches. And that's why I always backed away, because I never like how just because you are saved does not make you the judge, does not make you the person who can cast that stone. That's what always scared me. And honestly, I didn't go back to church. I did not go back to church until July. I didn't go to church until July because I was like, whoa, this lady scared me. I'm not doing this. Didn't care. But then my life just kept getting worse and worse. I literally felt like I was just walking on sand. Like, I did not feel strong at all. Like, my life literally was just crumbling beneath my feet. Just crumbling. Like, I did not know what to do. I was about to be homeless. I do not know where to go, what to do next. Like, I had nothing left. Nothing left. I would go 2 or 3 days without eating sometimes just so I could have money for gas for my car. I had nothing left. So I go to church in July. And the bishop starts talking. He puts up a presentation. He's like, How many of you guys are walking around here looking sappy? Now, mind you, I did not look good. I surely looked like my problem. I began to really look like my problem. So he puts up a video. He was like, a lot of you guys are walking around here looking like your problem. He shows a girl where she needs to get her hair done. Her weave wasn't done. Her hair was just nappy. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't presentable. Her clothes were sloppy. And I resonated with her. I resonated. I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what I look like. I'm walking around looking exactly like that. He just literally changed my life. I just literally started thinking, what am I doing? What are you doing, Q? What are you doing? So then the video proceeds, and he's showing, he was like, once you start to really build a foundation and really find your spiritual guidance, your life starts to get better. You start to build a stronger foundation. Now, my ladies know what this is who gets weave. When you get that good braiding foundation underneath your weave, that's what he was showing me. Someone who was weaving and wefting and putting multiple braids and twisting and turning and making sure that the hair that they put on your head is going to lay flat. It is going to look natural. And that's what he was showing. That foundation, the braiding technique, all of that. That is what your spiritual guidance, once you create that strong foundation, those boulders, those rocks, nothing can take that apart. Because once they started sewing in the weave, you saw how they got every nook and cranny. There's no way that weave was going to leave your head. Someone would have to shave it off for them to be able to take that foundation off. Like, there was no way that weave was coming off if someone tried to tug, pull, or twist. There was no way it was coming off. Even one cut to a string was not going to go tear that whole entire foundation apart. And that's what makes a good hair foundation. Because if you can cut one string and the whole entire thing starts on thread, that's not good. So my ladies know exactly what I mean when he was showing that video of that great foundation and that great sewing technique of the hair being sewn in. And then he started telling you how when you have the right people to put the right tools into your life, he showed a flat iron being twisted into the hair and flattening it out and giving the nice curls, laying it all out. And then he shows this is what God looks like. You will no longer walk around any other way. No one can tug or pull away at this foundation. It will last. And that is what that meant to me. And that's why I was like, if I did not have that spiritual guidance from me going to church in July and really figuring God out and really understanding and really knowing that you have to walk in faith, because this enemy, he is out to beat us. Especially in this society, people suck. People suck. So people will take and pry away at everything you do. You don't have a strong foundation. There's just no way you can survive in this world and really succeed. It's either you're going to go good or bad. Like, you have to figure this out. And if you decide bad, just know that the good always wins. We've all watched movies. Even if the bad wins in the first part, the sequel comes back and the good wins. It's just inevitable. But we always talk about this. And I think about, if I did not have this foundation, there's no way I'd be able to be doing this first podcast today while walking back and forth into my bathroom to get the acoustics. And be able to explain to you guys, like, that guidance is what's keeping me strong right now. Because no lie, that phone call would have broke my heart yesterday and I would have tore into pieces. And today I would have probably still been in pieces, laying underneath my cover and not being proactive to figure out what the next step in life is going to be. So I'm very, very grateful and very understanding with this spiritual guidance. And this is why it's so cool that this is the first card that I picked. I'm actually really excited for these next cards. If you guys look at the past episodes, you will see. But I will end on this, so I will let you guys understand this. With this show, we are all going through our own spiritual journeys. I want people to understand that just because I'm going through my spiritual journey does not make me a saint. I am not sinless. I am not walking around here to be your judge. I am not here to tell you what you're doing is bad, what you've done is bad, because God knows that I've done bad things and I am still going through things, and I'm still making mistakes. I make mistakes every single day. And all I do every day is just ask for him to keep getting me through this. So I will end on this last note. I want people to understand, just because I am a Christian and I am doing this show is not made for people who are sinless. This show is not made for people who sin less. This show is made for all of us who are still wrapped up doing the things that we're doing, and we're trying to figure things out, trying to figure out where should we go, what's the next step, what's the next move, where we feel like where your life is backed against the wall and you do not know which way that is out, and the only way you're thinking out is death. That's what the show is for. Like, we're here to just have fun, enjoy what life is, enjoy it, figure it out, because honestly, it's actually really easy. I'm still learning it, don't get me wrong. There's days where I'm like, actually, this thing is actually really easy. It's really not that hard. Plus, I'm still trying to learn how to not curse anymore, because I curse like a sailor. So I'm really trying to control that. And so we all just gotta keep growing together. That's it. And then I want to hear other people's success stories. Tell us what you've done, where you came from, and how you're getting to your next spot. So somebody else who's stuck in your position, that's what we're here to get them to the next spot. Because I lost a lot of friends last year, and I'm done losing people. So let's prosper and keep going forward. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.